What's up, YouTube? Alright, so this is a video that's been requested and something I've been meaning to get to. Finally got around to it. It is the HD 55300 PLM with the HD 1.4 time AW teleconverter. I've got some bad news for you guys. At least for my copy of both of, well, this combination. There's no way I can recommend actually doing this. I know some people state that they have had success and it's great, it's a good combo. From my own personal experience using this exact combination, the teleconverter seems to only focus on finding all the aberrations and shortcomings of the HD 55300 PLM and then enlarging all the issues. That's what I found. I've used a test chart to calibrate everything, and no matter what I did, it just was not sharp. I took a series of shots in my backyard. There's what are they, 4x4? No, 6x6 fence posts, one after another. Focused on the one fence post so I could see, and I tried different focal lengths and different distances, and just nothing is sharp. Everything is just aberrations everywhere, purple fringing. I really cannot recommend this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, other people have said that they've had success. I personally have not. This is not a combination that I can recommend or that I'm even going to use after today. So anyway, I'm out here over by like a creek between a small piece of land, Lake Ontario, and large marsh creek area. Yeah, just try to get some birds in flight. I've also done some shots of some stationary birds, and yeah, it's just it's not looking good, guys. It's really not looking good at all. I've even tried focusing at first and then checking manual focus, and it just no matter what, it's just not a sharp combo. And I mean, I've even stopped down to F11 at 300. My thought, I mean, if you're not going to use it at 300, then there's no point in having the teleconverter itself, right? Because once you go down to say 200, then you add the teleconverter, you're almost at like the 300-ish mark anyway. So really, what's the point? You'd be better off just cropping in post. And I know there's shadows all over me. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna stay like this so you can see my face. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's not the greatest, but everyone wanted to see this, and this is a more economical situation than the 150/450. However, the image quality difference between the 55300 PLM and the 150/450 is pretty large image quality difference all across the board. Flare control, chromatic aberration, purple fringing, sharpness, color rendition, sharpness, micro contrast, everything. So in a matter of speaking, you do get what you pay for, even though it is a pretty huge, drastic price difference between the two. But this, from my experience over the past few days, don't do it. Do not do it. It's not worth the drastic drop in actual image quality compared to just using the 55300 natively on its own and then cropping in post. But yeah, I'm just gonna get some shots here, and then once I get the shots, I'll throw them up on the screen. I'll show you the testing that I did. I tried everything from micro focus adjustment, -10 to +10, to just trying to figure out why it's just not sharp. It just wouldn't work at all. So yeah, I'll throw images on the screen and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And and that'll be pretty much it. Okay, so in the intro section of the video, I mentioned that I had the images that I had shot in regards to the fence posts. Actually, now that I've reviewed it, I actually did delete them all because I guess I thought that at the time they were useless, but now I kind of wish I kept them because I wanted to put that in the video. But I do have a gazillion other test shots. I'm not going to go through them all. Generally speaking, because a lot of times I'm using AFC, that is what I will use. I'll do some shots in AFS just to try to nail the focus, and then I'll see how AFC actually corresponds, because I may need to do slight focus adjustments depending on how quick the autofocus is actually getting acquired. With that said, let's just take a very quick look here. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. What was this? This was AFS. So let's zoom in. And this is, as you can see, 420 millimeters. Now, this is with the HD 55-300 PLM all the way at 300. Let's go in. And you'll see it's just not sharp. There's, like, the detail is completely and utterly lacking everywhere. It's just not sharp at all. Yeah, you know, and this just continued on over and over and over again. And here's the other bird there. It's just not sharp. There's really nothing else to say. It's just, it does not produce sharp images. Let's go down. So this is when I arrived where I was today, and I was again looking at, you know, just the distance away, and this seems to be pretty good for the most part. And let's go over to the other one here. Okay, that one's slightly out, which is fine. This one should be the sharpest, and this last one, it's a tad bit out. Just a tad. Let's go down to the grass here. Now, if you look around the image, you can see what I was talking about. There's just a lot of, ghosting and just chromatic aberration everywhere. That one's not too bad. And I did a bunch of other shots here. Let's go over to this one. You know, and the thing is, I really wanted this to work. Because I think as a walk around, this would be the perfect solution. But after using it, see, this is sharp. And this is where I've said, okay, this is where I'm going to keep it. But yeah, like I was saying, so the, you know, I really wanted this to work. I really did. You know, unfortunately, it's just not that feasible, at least for myself. Let's get way in here. So that's not, I mean, it's not great. It's not awful. You know, but there is, you can clearly see there is a lack of detail on the the red-winged blackbird. All right, let's continue on here. What was this one? I'm not even sure what this one. Oh, okay. What is that? Oh, that's the kingfisher. Oh, that hairdo. See, here's a perfect example. This just, yeah, the teleconverter just exaggerates everything. So any small, minute shortcoming is just going to be absolutely exaggerated. And I had dialed it down. So as you see, this is 322 millimeters. And so I dialed it down to about 250 millimeters on the HD 55-300 PLM. Let's see, I did another attempt here. And I bursted twice. Yeah, and it's just, the detail's just not there. I know it's at ISO 16,000, but should be a tad bit more detail. This one actually came out well, but as you can see, I shot that in AFS in spot. I just got very, very lucky. I literally just picked up the camera, aimed, and fired. So let's see how that turned out. Yeah, but again, you know, it's still around the eye and the beak. It's still not quite there. Like, there should be more sharpness. Using the lens natively, this would have been a beautiful shot. I mean, it's okay, but again, this was all the way at 300 with the teleconverter, so, you know, you're just, yeah, literally any shortcomings is just going to be absolutely exaggerated, no matter what. Yeah, and this was the second shot here. This was the only one that really, those two shots were the only ones that kind of came out the most. And I think this was the turn, and again this was at 300. Actually, wait, let's go back one. Okay, so that was at 322, so that was about 250 millimeters, sorry, on the PLM, and this was at full 300, this turn, and as you can see, it's terrible. It's just terrible. There's no other way to put it. Absolutely terrible. Let's see what the second shot came out as. Yeah, just no detail. I mean, I'm at ISO 2500, and it was bright. You know, it was bright, but natively with this combo with the 55-300 PLM at 300, you're at 9.5 aperture. So, you know, I stopped it down to f11, a slight stop down, but it's just not a sharp combination at all. And then this trait just continued on and on and on and on. So, you know, like I was saying, I know that there's people that said that they've had success with this combination. You know, maybe it's subjective in regards to what you feel is acceptable to you. For me, this is just not acceptable at all. I mean, the cost of the teleconverter is the cost of another lens, right? So kind of factor that in as well, right? And as you can see, I mean, the image quality is just not, it's just not there, right? It's just not there. It just exaggerates all the shortcomings. And so I dialed this one back a bit because it seems to be a tad bit sharper if you dial it down, which again eliminates the whole need for having the teleconverter on the camera. Right, so your best options would be to use the crop mode on the K33, or just shoot natively with just the lens and then crop and post. Those would be your best options. Right, because this just isn't. You can see that there's just a loss of image quality. It's just not very good. Yeah, unfortunately. And even, you know, in fairly close proximity. So this was all the way at 300. Not too, I mean, there's a bit of detail on that wing, but it's still spotty. It's not super sharp, you know, at least compared to the 150-450 or the 55-300 PLM natively on its own. This is not an acceptable image. Absolutely not. And that's the other interesting thing too, is it did not find a focus point, but if we zoom in, I mean, it's pretty much dead center. It should have picked a focus point. Okay, here it did. So let's see what it did here. And I mean, this has been interesting. You know, I was expecting better results than this. just based on other things I've read and seen, from other people that use this combination. But for me, the combo, at least my copies of both of these, just is not, it doesn't work. And that's pretty much it, really. You guys wanted to see it, and now you see it, and I totally do not recommend this, and it's unfortunate because I was looking forward to this. But yeah, just shoot natively. Clearly the yeah, I have no idea. Okay, yeah, I'm done with that. So clearly the teleconverter was not designed to be used with the 55300 PLM. I guess it has to do with the optics and the way everything comes together. But your mileage may vary. If you want to take that chance, go ahead. I personally do not recommend that you do. Just shoot the lens natively and crop in, or use the crop mode if you have a crop mode. If you have a K1, there's the crop mode. If you have a K33, there's a crop mode. Just use those instead, or just crop and post. And that's pretty much it. So, if you like the video, leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Helps me out. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave that information at the bottom of the description. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and you will see me on my next video. And I wish I had better news about this combo, but I unfortunately don't. Anyway, that's it. I'm out.